very boring toward the end.
Yeah, the best is the beginning. This is the HackerNoon podcast. I'm David Smooke, and today we have an internet legend with us, presidential candidate, software innovator, all that jazz, John McAfee. Thanks for joining us.
Well, thanks, David, and Lynn. I'm no longer a presidential candidate. 2 weeks ago, I lost the Libertarian primaries, which I fully expected. So,
well, once you have done it, you always are it. So, what's your current job then?
God, I wish I knew, Dave. I really do. I mean, you'll have to ask Janice, who is my boss. I have no fucking clue what my job is. I do basically what I'm told.
So you just wake up every day and Janice tells you what's up?
Janice tells me what's the fuck up. Yes, that's what. Listen, Dave. If Lynn does not tell you the same, you simply have not been married long enough. What can I tell you?
Oh no, she runs this house for sure. I just show up. Here I am. You know.
Me too. I just show up. I'm here. Literally, Janice is my scheduler. What? She's about to hit me or something.
You had tissue stuck to your finger.
What?
You had tissue on your finger. It's okay.
She said I had tissue on my finger. That's how detailed this woman controls my fucking life. She going, yeah.
Shut up.
I had tissue on my finger. My apologies, those of you who saw tissue on my fingers, all right?
Hey, so you grew up in Virginia in the 50s, is that right?
Yes, I did actually. Virginia, Norton, the Appalachians, the poorest part of America.
And if you were to look back at if you were to describe the Black Lives Movement today to yourself as a teenager, how do you think you'd react?
Well, it's a very heavy question, Dave. There wasn't a Black Lives Movement, of course, in the 1950s, and I regret that I grew up in an age where blacks. My wife, by the way, is as well. She looks extraordinarily black, and she claims to be black. But I grew up in an age where blacks had no rights. I'm sorry to say that, but it is absolutely true. I'm sorry, the 1950s. And white people did not have any concept that they were either privileged or superior or whatever whites may have thought in the 1950s. So I'm really the wrong person to ask, other than that I have lived with multiple black women and have married one, and have been married for almost 9 years. By the way, all of you gentlemen out there, you think you want to get married, if you marry a black woman,
Watch it. Watch it.
Hang on, I'm telling the truth, baby. If you want to marry a black woman, you had better fucking have balls the size of goddamn watermelons, because otherwise you will end up being the true slave. I'm just saying.
Well, it's, where we come from shapes the way we see the world, so I wanted to just touch a little bit on that, but does it really, Dave, does where we come from shape the way we see the world, or does our totality of experiences up to this present moment? But the setting is always part of the experience. So the setting, in any story, in anything like that, the setting, it doesn't make you who you are, but it will force a reaction, and it's just, you can't write a story without a setting, then you don't have a story.
Janice, this motherfucker is too goddamn smart for me to be talking to you here. Do not schedule me with this mofo again. I'm sorry. Yes, well, you're absolutely correct, Dave. I mean, the setting does, in fact, it does not control or predict the outcome of the experience, but fuck me, yes, it does in fact influence it. But there's more. There's more than setting. Let me tell you about goddamn setting. For the past year, Janice and I, first of all, we escaped the United States on the 17th of January last year. Because I found out on the 22nd of January, the IRS was going to convene a grand jury to charge both of us with tax fraud. Now, what are you drinking, beer?
No, it's actually a kombucha.
It's what?
Kombucha.
Yeah, so you say. I know people who put beer or vodka in kombucha bottles, but yeah, I'll accept that. Anyway, so we found out about it. We left on our yacht on the 17th of January for the Bahamas. Now, I knew the United States would come after us, which they fucking did. In April, we escaped from the Bahamas just a few hours before the IRS, in the guise of the CIA, were to collect us. We went to Cuba. We were there for 2 months, and the Cuban government pulled both Janice is right here with me now, pulled us both in and said, listen, the United States has demanded that we return you to America. And it was a Cuban general. We were at an army base. The Cuban general said, however, we were disinclined to do so. So we're giving you 72 hours to leave the country and never return, because we were fucking embarrassment now, no problem. So we did. We left, and they came twice a day, said, Mr. McAfee, will you be gone in 46 hours? I go, well, yeah. If I have to fucking swim to Haiti, trust me, I will be gone. So we left with 16 hours to spare, actually, with a big ass goddamn boat, a staff of 8, 4 fucking big dogs, and Janice and I, and a captain. It was no small task. We spent 4.5 days at sea. Pulled into the Dominican Republic and were arrested before we could leave the boat. And what did they say? I'm sorry, Mr. McAfee, but you must return to the United States. I've been arrested 21 times in 11 different countries, so this is nothing new for me. So I managed to acquire 2 Dominican Republic lawyers who managed, after 4 days of Janice and I being in jail, to get us freedom to leave to England, which we did.
Did you get to stay in the same cell?
Fuck no, please God. I'm sorry, but husband and wife, listen, I've been arrested 21 times. I never experienced a situation where husband and wife we did not get the same cell. And in fact, Janice was, put out, to say the least. In any case, so after 4 days, we win the right to go to England, which is what I asked for to the very fucking beginning. I want to go to England. I've got a British passport. I'm a British citizen. Send me home. Anyway, so that's what we did. On the way, I talked to Janice very seriously. Baby, we cannot fucking run forever. We have to go underground, which we did. So we got to London. We've been underground since July, 19th of 2019. Almost a whole fucking year.
Wow.
I don't know why. Did you ask a question about that? Probably not. I'm 74. Okay, listen, old men have the right, if not the obligation, to ramble. And
Are you
therefore,
still doing math and writing code?
oh fuck me, I haven't written code in 50 fucking years, dude. I mean, no, of course not. Although, hey, listen, I am still the best coder on this fucking planet. I'm just saying.
So we're at a really early age. Were you really good at math?
Oh fuck yeah, that's the only thing I was good at. Listen, when I went to college at the age of 18 at Roanoke College, Salem, Virginia, I wanted to major in physics, and then after one fucking semester, I figured out, you know what? I have to learn more math to get a fucking physics degree than I have to learn to get a math degree. So I go, oh, fuck that shit. So I switched to math. Of course, graduated with honors. I don't know why.
But even before college, when did you realize you were really good at math?
I don't know, third grade. I never had to study math. It's one of the things. I'm a lazy motherfucker. I am, and math always came easy to me, and therefore that's what I did. and those people do not understand digital science. Computers and software, it's just fucking mathematics. That's all it is, people. It just happens to be a mathematics based on a binary system than a decimal system. It's all the same fucking thing. And binary systems are fucking fantastic because you have mathematics you can't do on a digital system like Boolean algebra and or exclusive or fuck me, the most powerful processes in all the world of mathematics. So no, so digital computing looked like fuck me. Is this easy? But programming is nothing more than mathematics, people, only in a binary system rather than a decimal system.
So after college, you got a job at NASA. How did that come about?
Well, my first job was not at NASA. My first job after college, really, my first job was at General Electric. That's where I first learned programming on the General Electric GPAC 4020, which was the world's first process automation computer. Now, what's process automation? Well, it's the most complex application of computer science ever fucking invented. I was assigned to the automation of Australia Iron and Steel's rolling mill in Port Kembla, New South Wales, Australia. What's a rolling mill? Well, it's one of the things that prior to computers was a fucking art. Because what's a rolling mill? So steel comes in there, the whole bunch of rolling mills. So it's the repeat roller where it goes one way, then another way, then another. Then there's a system of 15 rollers. So what happens? You've got white hot steel coming right out, and it's coming in slabs that are maybe, I don't know, 12 inches thick. So it comes between these rollers, which has a pressure that you can't possibly fucking imagine. I mean, that would take a dime or a $50 and convert it into something smaller than a sheet of paper in terms of width. Powerful fucking pressure. So comes through these rollers, comes in at maybe 3 miles per hour, goes to the first roll. It's compressed, comes out slightly thinner, comes out slightly faster. I mean, come on, let's face it, people. You put the same volume in at a certain volume, at a certain speed, and if the volume is less, it's got to come out faster. So at the very end of this 15-roller process, the steel, which comes in at 2 miles an hour, is coming out at 80 miles per hour. Now, so they have these things called flying shears, because otherwise you'd have utter fucking chaos. And by the time it comes out of the last roll, it's no longer red hot. I'm no longer white hot. It's red hot. It's so fucking hot. So it's coming out at 80 miles an hour, and these shears are flying at what speed? 80 fucking miles per hour. And they cut these things in sheets that are 12 feet long. Now, up until automation, human fucking beings, if you can imagine this, like Jesus fucking God, if you want to know what the human is capable of. And by the way, it was the most highly paid worker, low-level job in the world. And these
because of the amount of danger and risk they were taking on.
Pardon?
Because of the amount of danger and risk they're taking on.
No. They take no. Well, the risk was cutting the shears at the wrong place, or because these people had to manage the pressure of the rolls constantly to get the right speed, the right everything. No, the risk was you would destroy or break a set of rolls, which was $500,000, which cost you your job. No, there's no personal risk. I mean, fuck me, you're 4 stories above the rolling mill. Why? Because the mill itself, when the temperature is 200 degrees Fahrenheit. I mean, nobody survives at that. No, so you're 3 stories above this. No personal risk. The risk is your job. You break a roll, they fire your sorry ass. So now.
And so at this point, did you always know you wanted to, do your own thing? And were you thinking like,
of course, I'd always done my own thing ever since I was 12 years old, dude. When I was 12, I borrowed my father's lawnmower and used to mow every fucking yard in the neighborhood. Why? Who the fuck likes to mow yards? Nobody. So I'd knock on doors. Mr. Jones, would you like your yard mowed for $1.75? Oh, fuck yes. Everybody said yes. It only cost me 25 cents in gas. So I made a fucking fortune. No, this is in 1958. I'm 13 years old. No, 1957. 12 years old.
And when that first time, making money, did you get the thrill and the satisfaction of like,
fuck yes,
this is
what
it?
What greater thrill is there than having money in your goddamn pocket and all of your friends are working on 50 cents a week allowance? Oh, no, but trust me, power, instant power. In the wintertime, what I do, I take a snow shovel, knock on the door. Would you like your sidewalk shoveled? Who the fuck wants to shovel the sidewalk after a large snowfall? Nobody. So seriously, I was the richest dude in the entire fucking town by the time I was 13. When I was 14, I owned 4 paper routes. Paper routes. Now, nobody has it. I don't think they have paper boys anymore. But back then, it was an entrepreneurial job. You bought the newspapers from the newspaper company.
If you were 14 today, looking around and seeing what the internet is and seeing how that works, would you think you would already, have an online business?
Yeah, I'd be promoting Bangkok prostitutes if I was 14 today. Seriously, I'm serious. I mean, no, I would make so much fucking money. But that's beside the point. So anyway, I had paper routes by the time I was 14. So no, by the time I was 16, I had more money in the bank than my goddamn parents. By the time I was 18, after having a bunch of other entrepreneurial jobs, I had close to $100,000, which is 1960 people, 1963 actually. That $100,000 is $3 million in today's money. I mean, I was the god of Southwest Virginia at 18, and I've been that ever since. Why? I don't want to work for anybody. Why the fuck? No, I'll definitely work for NASA. Why? God damn it, I'll learn some shit. I'll work for Lockheed, which I did. I'll learn some shit. But
so I read that you wrote the first version of the antivirus software in a day and a half. Is that true?
I did, yes.
And what was the initial function? What did it do?
Okay, so now here's what happened. By the way, if you think that people get success from writing a business plan, having an idea. No, people wake the fuck up. Why do people go to Harvard Business School or Stanford Business School? Now, I used to teach once a month at Stanford Business School. Why? Because I was a successful entrepreneur. I know what the fuck that is. No, you go to Stanford Business School, you pay a goddamn fortune so that you get a job with IBM or Microsoft or Samsung or somebody for a shitload of money, but you ain't no goddamn entrepreneur. What's an entrepreneur? An entrepreneur is someone with no goddamn plan, and he's sitting there just minding his own fucking business, and an opportunity comes by his nose, which happens 10 times a day for every human on this planet. And you have the balls to say, okay, if I grab this opportunity, I will risk losing my job, my wife, my house, my neighbors, my friends, everything, which I did and everybody does. Are you willing to do that? If not, you're not an entrepreneur, and stop making plans, because you will never get a goddamn dime. No money comes to you without risk. And what is the risk? Everything. Everything you've ever known, everything you've ever loved, everything you've ever wanted, and everything that you currently fucking have. Your house, your car, your kids, your wife. I lost everything. Everything. Starting McAfee. Why? Because I thought that was the thing to do. So now, how did McAfee happen? Like every fucking successful business, including Microsoft. I know Bill Gates. I met Bill Gates shortly after Microsoft became a thing. Nobody has a fucking plan, people. Nobody has an idea. You know what ideas are worth? Jack fucking shit. We all have ideas. 10, 20, 30 a day. Everybody on this planet. Nothing. What's worth something? Opportunity. So what was mine? Well, I'm sitting on a Sunday morning watching television. I don't remember what I was watching. My worthless fucking brother-in-law, Rich, my wife's brother, who never had a goddamn job and had been living with us for a fucking year as a parasite on my hard work, working at Lockheed on a black program. I was making more money than God. Do you understand that on this black program? What's a black program? It's a program that does not exist. I was working at Lockheed as a defense contractor. Black programs are those super, super, super fucking secret things that don't exist. Now, in order to get on one, you got to have a top secret clearance. So my boss came to me after working at Lockheed and said, you've been tapped for a black program. It's scheduling you for your clearance next week. Now, what's that mean? You spend an entire fucking day, and the NSA asks you things like, asks me things like, have you ever fucked a goat? Yeah, not that I can remember. What about a chicken? Not that I can remember. Have you ever cheated on your wife? Yes. How many times? Well, fuck me, as often as I could. Have you ever taken drugs? Yes. Which drugs? I mean, every drug I'm aware of. Have you ever sold drugs? Yes. Which drugs? Every drug I'm aware of. Why did you do that? Well, there's a shitload of money in it, assholes. That's what, anyway. So, an entire day, plus they put electrodes on you. They ask you, I mean, whatever. So now, so I go back at the end of the day and I tell my boss to say, listen, my security clearance is not coming. 1 week later, I get a top secret security clearance. Why? Fuck me, I don't know. I guess it's because the people go, you know what? The Russians are not going to be able to say, we know this about you, because the motherfucker doesn't care. I don't know. For whatever reason, I got to. So anyway, I was making more money than God. Doing what? Every Monday morning, they flew me to another state. for working for the Air Force. Oh, fuck me. No, I can say that. I hope. Working for the Air Force on a program I can't possibly tell you about. And then every Friday afternoon, sending me back to San Jose, where I lived in Santa Clara in Silicon Valley. I can't tell you how much I was making more money than God. I mean, I had cars, I had motorcycles, cars, every fucking thing. And on a Sunday morning, my brother-in-law, Rich, that motherfucker who's never had a job, was reading the San Jose Mercury News, and he says, "Whoa, look at this. There's a thing called a computer virus. They just discovered it." I go, "What? Give me the fucking paper." So I read the paper. It was about this thing called the Pakistani brain computer virus. Why was it called that? Because that was what was written inside the code that was taking control of computers throughout Europe. So I go, fuck me. So I read the article. Monday morning at 7 a.m., I called a friend of mine at Stanford, because I taught at Stanford University once a month to the graduate school, business school. I said, "Give me a copy." They had a copy. That afternoon, I went to Stanford, got a floppy disk. You know what a floppy disk is? Well, fuck you if you don't know, I don't care. Got a floppy disk, came back with the virus, took it apart, and it was the world's first artificial intelligence, people. What is a virus? Well, it's a piece of code that tries to do three things: hide, survive, and propagate and destroy. Well, also do damage. But many of them didn't do much damage. But so I'm going, fuck me. I wanted to hire those motherfuckers and start a company. There were two brothers in Lahore, Pakistan, that had a computer repair shop. They created this thing. Well, fuck me. Anyway, so as I was looking at the code and understanding what it was, I thought, well, fuck, this is so easy to fix. So I wrote a little program. It took me less than 2 days. Put it up on my bulletin board called Home Base, the world's, at that time, certainly Silicon Valley's largest bulletin board system. I had 32 phone lines coming in. We didn't have the internet back then, folks, so you couldn't just send a message to Russia. What happened is, you know, all of your thousands of users on the bulletin board downloaded the good shit and then uploaded it to other bulletin boards where it was downloaded and uploaded. Now, within a month, I had 5 million users. Within 4 months, I had $30 million in the bank.
And were you even incorporated? Did you corporate?
No, fuck no, nothing.
You know, pocketing it
you
for
don't
yourself?
plan this shit, people. You can't plan success. Not fucking possible. Not possible. No. What you do is immediately, I quit Lockheed. I quit the juiciest, most incredible job any technology could ever fucking have. A goddamn black program with the U.S. government. Dude, I could do whatever I fucking wanted and make 10 times what any other technologist could ever fucking make. And I quit that immediately. I lost my wife, my house, everything. Because I realized that this was an opportunity. I quit Lockheed instantly. I didn't even give notice. My boss said, "What? Are you crazy? Come in and talk to me." I said, "No. I'm not coming in. I quit. I'm sorry. I'm not coming in." And you have to do that. Not talking to you anymore. My world has changed. My wife, who had a job as a flight attendant, just walked out. I lost everything. Everything. But 3 months later, I was a multimillionaire. And this is what success is. You can't plan success, people. That's idiocy. You have to smell the opportunity wafting past your nose, and you have to be willing to risk your job, your wife, your house, your kids, everything you've ever fucking loved. And if you're not, stay where you are.
So let's talk about another boom and opportunity. This
We have
2007.
time for one more question. I have another interview coming up in 3 minutes. My apologies.
I guess if I had a last question for you, I'd say, what is the scariest thing about the internet right now? And if you controlled the whole internet, what would you change?
I don't know. The second half, I'll tell you what the scariest thing is that you got no privacy, people. None. If you think that antivirus software or security software is protecting you, or that encryption is protecting you, it's not. I mean, encryption was designed 30 years ago to protect from a thing called man-in-the-middle attack. What does that mean? I'm communicating with someone in Australia, and there's someone listening. There's no man in the middle anymore. Please, fucking God, do you understand that our smartphones and our computers and our pads and our laptops are designed for one thing, to find out exactly what the fuck you are doing, where, and when. There's no man in the middle. You, in your fucking system, have the software that's watching what you type into your secure software that's going to be encrypted and sent. And on the other end, you have software that's watching, because you can't read encrypted communication. It has to be decrypted, then displayed on your fucking screen. Well, they're reading what's displayed on your screen, people. And they're watching what you type in. Encryption is the most worthless piece of shit today. And people actually pay for it. What the fuck is wrong with you people? And I'm really sorry, but I must go.
Thanks, John. I enjoyed the time.
All right.